everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my first ever book haul. I have been watching a lot of Booktube over the last couple months and it's really inspired me to start making videos again, so I thought I would start off with this video. I don't have a huge pile here. I'm trying to keep it manageable to the amount of books I think I'll be able to finish in the next couple months, and once I'm done with all of these, then I will shuffle in a couple new books into my collection, but I still do have a sizable pile, so let's get right into the video. So I'm going to start off with the book that I already owned because it is relevant to the next book that I bought, and that is Sabriel by Garth. I read this first in like 6th or 7th grade, which I don't know why I was reading it back then because this is definitely an adult fantasy series. But it's been a long time since I've read it, and I wanted to get back into this series because I really love Garth's writing style. I think it's really dynamic, and he has a great way of using like tone to make the scene really, really impactful. I'm almost done with this book, as you can see. I probably have maybe 80 or 100 pages left. And yeah, it's going really well. I still really love this book. And to go along with that, I bought Lyriel because I had Sabriel and also the third book in the series, but I must have got them from like a library sale or something where they were missing this one, so I picked this up from thrift books, so now I have the 3 books in the main trilogy. Along with that, I'm going to start off by looking at all of the books that I got from either thrift books online or thrifted just at a random thrift store. So the other books I got from thrift book online was this one, which I'm really, really excited about. This is The Trinity Prophecy by Marissa Kinzel. This book is actually written by one of my cosplay friends, and I know she was really hyped with this coming out, so I wanted to support her. I don't actually know a ton about what it's about. I'm pretty sure there is a gay romance in it, which of course is always interesting to me. So yeah, I'm really interested in it, and the art on it is really, really beautiful as well. The other book I got from thrift books, which is the last in my little haul from them, is currently wrapped up, but it is Bowie's Bookshelf, which is a kind of set of shorter essays about 100 books that David Bowie lists as the most influential in his life, and just kind of contextualizing them in how possibly he read them and what time in his life he read them. This is actually going to be a Christmas present for my father because he loves a lot of classic rock icons and has a huge, huge book collection, and I think this would be interesting for him to look at. I did read about a third of it before I wrapped it up in the wrapping paper, and I did really like the essays. They're really, really easy and digestible, and the author, I'm forgetting his name, but I think he's a journalist, and his writing style is really easy and I don't know, very flowing and easy to read. So I was enjoying the parts that I was reading of it. So the last book that I got, this is kind of really funny to me. This is someone's advanced reader copy arc of Shielded. I got this at the thrift store, and this, I don't really know a lot about what it's about. It gives me a very classic YA fantasy vibe to it from the cover, which is really, really beautiful. His art is really detailed. But I think it's about a princess that's forced to marry someone from a neighboring kingdom she doesn't really know anything about to save her kingdom during wartime, which is kind of the exact same plot as Princess Ash from Final Fantasy XII, so anything related to Ash I'll be fine with. But yeah, I think that there's magic in the world, but I don't know if she has it. I think that is kind of a plot point that she might be disadvantaged for not having any magical ability, or she's going to somehow gain magical ability throughout the story. But yeah, I figured I'd give it a go, not really wasting anything if it's just $1, and yeah, it's a really pretty book regardless. So this last book that I have here is the only one that I bought new in a bookstore, and it is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This is the Barnes & Noble leather-bound editions that they've been coming out with of a lot of classics. I probably tried reading The Count of Monte Cristo back in 6th or 7th grade, and it was just a little bit too dense for me and slow-moving at the start, so I never finished it. And I've since watched Gankutsuo, which is the anime adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, which I honestly think is a little bit better at telling the story than the original novel is, but at the same time, I'm going to give it another go and try and read through this. It's obviously a super beautiful book, even if it was just going to sit on my shelf, but I like to read every book I own. I don't want to bring a book into my home if it's just going to sit around and collect dust. So I will try and read this, just not really high on my TBR of all of these books. I probably will try and read the next pile of books I'm going to show you first, but yeah, I still think it's really, really beautiful, and I do plan on reading this sometime in the near future. So the last pile of books that I have to show you are all library books. I'm trying to only buy books if they are nonfiction, books that I can't find anywhere else through any of my library services, or parts of series that I already own, or like kind of special cases like I showed you with the book that was written by my friend. But anyway, these are the library books that I picked out. This is kind of the book that got me back into wanting to read lately, and it is Dune by Frank Herbert. I don't know what to say to really sell this to you. It's the best selling sci-fi book of all time, and there's a movie coming out, which was supposed to come out in like 2 weeks, or maybe like the day of by the time I upload this video. But yeah, it's just like a really classic sci-fi story. Has a huge, like, expansive universe, like sort of like the Star Wars expanded universe that's going along with it. And yeah, I've actually finished this book. I did really, really like it, and I'm very excited for the movie to come out. Going right along with it, we have Dune Messiah, which is the sequel to Dune. I think there's 7 books in the main series, and then it's branched off from there. I'm trying to read at least the first 3, because those seem to be the ones that kind of tell the full story arc of the main character, Paul. So this is the sequel to it. It's a lot shorter compared to Dune. It's like probably like almost half the size. So hopefully this will be a really quick read. The next book I have here is Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This book I got when I was just like sort of looking on my online library program and saw that it involved necromancy, which is also a main plot point in Sabriel, and it also has a bisexual main character and a main lesbian romance, which of course is like immediately like sending flags to me that I need to read this book. So if it's just going to end up being lesbian Sabriel, then I'll be very, very happy. I think there's also kind of like a rivals to lovers or enemies to lovers plot point in it, which is like really good. So I'm really excited to read this as well. So the last book I have in my haul is Bunny by Mona Awad. I just finished this book yesterday, and it was really amazing. I loved pretty much all of it. There's a couple chapters where I was really mad at the main character, but overall I really enjoyed it. The easiest way to describe this book is Heather's, but more supernatural. And yeah, it was just a really good read. I totally didn't see the ending coming. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and now I gave it to my girlfriend for her to enjoy as well, because Heather's is one of our both favorite movies, so I think that she's going to like it as much as I did. So that is my book haul and to be read for the next couple months. As I finish these books, I'm going to probably focus on the library books first so that I can return them and then get some new library books to fill their place. I want to get a couple more nonfiction books that I've had my eye on for a while, probably from thrift books, to add to my collection coming up. And yeah, I just want to continue reading the series and enjoy the books that I already also own, because there are a couple of books in my collection that I still have that I have yet to read. For the most part, I read pretty much every book I bring into my home, but of course, obviously there's a couple that slip through the cracks. So yeah, that's my plan going forward for the next couple of months. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you did, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!